Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, everybody, how is the world doing? This is Maker Taylor coming to you, not so live, but streaming from my comfort zone, and hopefully you in yours. I may be late to the party, but sometimes as long as you make it there, half the battle is showing up, right? I wanted to come to you all to talk about the Dave Chappelle special, The Closer, and particularly, of course, the controversy, but how easy it is for even those who consider themselves advocates, proponents, allies, and champions of the cause for civil rights for Black people to completely overlook their plight. Dave Chappelle has, I'm gathering the public understanding, has intimated that he's used the word nigger. He has spoken um, he's used and exacerbated various stereotypes that go along with being Black and how that's viewed, the experience that goes with it. And I believe it was the ACLU. I should have done research before. I'm coming off the top though. I'll please forgive me for whatever I'm incorrect about. But if it's the ACLU that came out requesting the cancellation, even though there have been no broad stroke requests like that made on behalf of Black people anywhere in America. Even just to reference the previous moment of hate with Stop Asian Hate, there has never been a broad stroke and widely successfully accepted campaign to stop commercializing, commodifying, concentrating, exacerbating, profiting from Black pain. I seek understanding. I'm sensitive. I'm an empath. I I am a show up and do the job kind of girl, woman. And I'm saying that to say that as I watch television, as I see the programming and I read the news, every day there is a pull at my maternal instincts. There's a pull at my human experience. Every day, my best foot forward is to remember to forget everything that I could remember that would keep me from finding happiness. Because as a Black woman in America, that is exactly what you seek to do. And this commentary is to open true, honest dialogue. To begin, in the very least, answer me or tell me the STFU. I'm not clear on what experience my fellow humans are living. I mean, absolutely, it's great to jump to seeking the allies and, coming across the borders and putting our hands on deck. And when I say that, I mean coming across the borders of our minds and really grappling with the fact that we all live in the same civil society and we're all affected one way or the other. The caste system, class system, capitalism that's been created and governed, it doesn't necessarily work in a sustainable effort. And not to mention the various negative human dynamics that have been created, which is really what I'm speaking to. I've been asking the question for years, how do you solve a problem you're not even willing to face? You still putting it in these nice terms. There are no nice terms to express what my experience is, even now, with all of the diversity and equity and all of y'all saying that, we're making it a better America for everyone, right? We're making it a better America for everyone, right? And I recently dropped out of a leadership program. I actually be submitting an official letter. The whole United States is based on Black people being brought here to bear the brunt of white people. And as white America continues to do what white America does, white Americaning, and creating these storylines and programming, and you shift the narrative to say or to insinuate that poor is poor no matter what your poor is, that's absolutely false. Poor and white can get away with many things that poor and Black never can. I'm moved with emotion, although I won't show it. I'm moved because I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact the system exacerbates, extenuates, and makes much more difficult for a typical Black person. It's in your news. Check your stats. We can sit down and discourse and your research to mine empirically or however otherwise. Like, I'm thoroughly offended at this point. It is to accept, right? And acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. But just to share the feeling that I have to rework, I'm offended that, first of all, I live in a state and a society that assumes I don't know what's best for myself. My immediate peer group and the people that I've worked with, and that they tend to pull from that same thinking and ideology. Therefore, the caps on their minds are less than conducive to a sustainable working relationship that ultimately could help the greater community and at large that they serve or have served or were serving or seeking to serve. It is an absolute shit show. And I just keep watching people manage the shit show. And I just ask, like, as I watch, if you ask me, would I take responsibility? Yeah, I would. But until the mind can understand that the skill supersedes the capital in where we need to go, in what if everything shutting down last year, whether that was man-made, however, I'm saying the fact that it happened. If that fail to shift your thinking into the responsibility of self, into self, and understanding that it's all one thing. Long before that ever happened, I was working at a church, and I would tell the senior pastor, y'all just walk around here like everything is set in concrete. And when you know who you are and you realize that you're saying this shit and this big shit actually shifts and it happens, there are certain connections that must be made. So what I'm doing is addressing the fact that until we are adult and mature enough to answer some of these questions, yeah. But whatever you feel about the book title, 7 Steps to Kill, my nigga, what else has the Black phenotype served as in the American caste and class system? And then as that began to shift, not that I didn't make it so, it didn't have to have a color, but it does. And now we're in this space where progressive white America gets to act as though it's all good. But you got them saying shit like make business human again. When did you admit that it was inhumane? And if business has been inhumane for the course of business, what impact has that had on society? And what are we willing to do as a society to rectify, correct, or change course in that? And ... Even to the television, to just briefly review. I own no rights to any of these shows, but our kind of people who I don't want to watch Black people out white people and Black people. I'm not concerned. I know that there's only 9 people that own, there's about 6 corporations that own everything. There's about 9 people that own those 6 corporations. And they filter out the world as they see it. And if you're not in one of those circles to be blessed, touched, or a benefactor to, you're not there either. Like, I want to see us really doing what we do is a beautiful thing. What we do caps off, no vulnerability, showing love. What we do is a beautiful thing. But we have someone else's filter and mindset on what we do. And then we allow this story to be told through their eyes, through their productions, through their directorship. To the point of where I watched Ella Fitzgerald's, I watch it in pieces because I just bore of white people telling our stories. I'm not, and this is my feeling, that's my truth. And if this were safe and diverse, I would have a space to discuss this. I say this with love, which is why I waited until I could speak in this manner. It is all love. I'm curious. But for what we do and how we hear music and how we process, and she could only be produced to the tune of what was available, most popular, and sought after at the time. And we know that we could still be hard-pressed for Hollywood America to say that a Black rom-com will sell. It's the pigeonholes. It's the wedges in a tree. The notches in a belt. And there is a system that is always counting. And as I sit and I take in and I watch and I feel more than anything. And it took me a very long time to get that back. America and her ways, the lineage of her lack of love had removed that from me long ago. There was something that called it back. My spirit desired to know what joy was in my soul again. So know that I shared these words with no malice. I do. I seek the alliance. I look forward to doing the work. I will our hands to craft the society and the community that we all desire and seek. But my statement to you is it will never come from the system that created it. And know that there are those of us I look forward to showing you all as I get better in this production. But I've been many places for us. And I started off with talking about Mr. Comedian, entertainer, extraordinaire, who 7 Steps was actually inspired by. It was inspired by the nigger family. He is a wonderful comic in terms of content and creating a reason to think and having an ability to articulate why, what, how, who. I love those questions. And I look forward to living in a society that enjoys not only asking them, but working through the process to get to the end with the answer. Because there are 2 very different realities, and the one that Hollywood America is currently shoving down the throat. I can only say what I don't have cable, I stream, and even with streaming, it is an abysmal darkness for me and what programming is. And I encourage Hollywood, open up, you can't lose. Open up the rooms. Do a call. It's some real simple solutions out here. Another sidebar, you all watching the opium epidemic as it's playing out in Hollywood, America, the crack era was devastating. There's no other demographic who can know as a full community how devastating that was. There are specifics to the Black community. And again, if not, can we please discourse on it? My view. But as I watch the various programming coming out about opioids, it is sure to let you know that this happened because Big Pharma did, and doctors were intimidated and enticed and induced. Still from Purdue, surely at some point, Fortune Company, if nothing else. And they're saying that it was not inflicted, it was not their fault. When, if you walk around as a Black person in America today, it is assumed you are debris, fallout, or otherwise linchpin to the crack era and the crack goings-on. Y'all play too much. I love you. Acceptance is the most beautiful thing I got in my life right now. A few tools and knowing who I am. I would have been remiss if I did not get on camera. I am thoroughly accepting of the disappointing nature of the society in which I live and those who are compensated to see through challenge, to secure solution. In leading, creating, building legacy, family, and community, I am accepting that not many have the heart, and the design is designed for you to remain design until your replacement comes. I live in America where fixtures can be conveyed, transferred, replaced, and demolished. A fixture can be conveyed, transferred, replaced, or demolished. However, fixtures can become landmarks, which never move. That's what I'm going for, modestly. That my impact, my spirit, it is known that I accepted where I was and simply worked to rise above it. I accepted all those who were compensated at the highest levels to solve problems who simply only create them. I accept that my brothers and sisters may not be as accepting of my accepting or of me or my message. And I still love you. And this is the energy I am convicted and committed to bringing to you all. Because that conversation is vital. And the conversation that the ACLU completely overlooked, or anybody else, how does a movement become that powerful that you can't say anything about it? And then how does the fight for Black civil rights get completely pushed under the table as though it's never an opportunity for that movement? I don't know. I like intellect. I had wrote something, I forgot. F is for fiduciary. I am representative of the Galactic Baby Federation. I am their fiduciary. And I am addressing to you the concentration, the commercialization, and just the blatant capitalist mentality of Black pain. It's yours to keep playing with, but know that you're twisting a tit At some point, again, nature has a beautiful way of self-correcting. With that, I'm being as obedient as I can. I don't see my other notes, but work to get happy. Like, all that shit y'all be saying, you could really be doing something with it. Where your elevator stop at? How far your thinking go up? Where your extension cord plugged into? Are you a catalyst? As a catalyst, what do you conduit? I love y'all. Be easy, don't be greasy, and forever love. Feed them what they need.